we're working on now is the humidifier. And what is the humidifier for? I don't know if you've ever took a shower, you got in a shower, you super dried out, you just felt really tired, you didn't have energy, and you get into the shower and magically you feel better. And the reason is because your body's kind of a sponge. So with that said, your body will absorb water into your body as you're taking a shower, and it can start to humidify your body. So with that said, that's what a humidifier does for your house. This is a whole house humidifier, and the idea behind the humidifier is to keep the house somewhere around 35 to 30% relative humidity. In the wintertime, you will literally get down to like 5% relative humidity. That's where nosebleeds comes from. That's where your body is not hydrated. So obviously when you're not hydrated, you're not fighting off infections. You're not fighting, you know, your body's not 100%. So again, going back to my kids, I want to be 100% for work. I want my wife to be 100% for work, and I want my kids to be 100% for school and for sports and activities. So it's extremely important to make sure that your house maintains the correct amount of humidity. So with that said, you got to maintain your humidifier. This is a whole house humidifier attached to your system. This is not a dehumidifier. We'll get to that in a little bit. A humidifier is what adds humidity back to your home, and this is a bypass. So this is hooked from a return to the supply. So in order to maintenance that, this one's a fairly easy to maintenance. All you have to do is just basically pull out the connections like this, slide off the top piece, which is the distribution tray. And there's one last thing I got to show you here. This guy right here. So I put this in last year. I'm pretty good about maintaining my stuff. So with this said, you notice it's beginning to break down a flake. If that breaks down in flakes, what that means is that you are not purifying the water correctly. So you don't want bacteria, mold, fungi, those type of things in your system. So you need to make sure you maintain this every year and properly. And if you're losing the calcium grid that's on there, it's purifying the water, that's you know, making the water natural. The filter system is why it's called a water panel and filter. Then you're breathing the mold, bacteria, fungi, those type of things if you're not changing this filter at least once a year. So make sure that you change your water panel once a year. So I'm going to grab that water panel real fast and we'll get a new one in there. Alright, so right now this is the new one. Okay, the black, there's a black line that's on top. That means that is the top. So we want to put that back in the tray. So with that said, I'm going to put that baby back in there. Alright, got it back in there. And I got to grab this tray, which is my distribution, and put that baby back on there on the distribution side. Notice it says front on ours anyway. Not all of them say that, but this one does. And you're just sliding it back in there, and bam, we're back in business. That's it. Now I want my humidity, getting ready for the summertime. I want my humidity, I mean for the wintertime, I apologize, at 35% relative humidity, and we are ready to go. So, absolutely. So we're ready to rock and roll. Humidifier, if you want to test it, you can. And that simply is just turning it all the way up. But I feel pretty confident mine's okay. Alright, it's real easy to test. You just crank it up to 60, but your heat has to be on in order to test it. So I currently don't have my heat on. So when my fall inspection comes around, I'm going to make sure that all operation is currently at this time. So today I'm not planning on doing a fall inspection as much as I am just adding services to the system. So with that said, I'll make sure that I inspect this thoroughly during my fall inspection.